Meg Thee Stallion is stressed out behind this Tory Lanez and this whole new, I guess it's not even new, but it has a new light, this free Tory movement. She posted the TikTok yesterday following everything, right? All of these people doing these change.org petitions and saying Tory should be free and he didn't shoot her. And she said, at what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans going to stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute him and y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say I was shot, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this. Leave me alone. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he shot me. That was his choice because he knows he did that. I don't give a F about a blog or a bot. Why in the F would me, Meg Thee Stallion, have to lie on this about someone shooting me? How y'all mad at the person that got shot? Facts are facts. He did it. It was proven in court. Let the hate, forget the hate campaign on the internet. Tory, you shot me. Ain't no new evidence. Y'all been saying the same thing for years. Tory, please leave me alone, in all caps. She called him a demon and she said, I'm off this internet stuff. Bye. She posted that to her TikTok yesterday because there's been so much, like, you got different political pundits coming out now saying that they want the DA's office in LA to revisit the case because he was railroaded, and there's a lot of conversation that's been happening.
He got stabbed?
Well, I think his attorneys, they're his attorneys. They were smart to use, him being stabbed as a, hey, his life is in danger. And not only is his life is in danger, but we have new evidence now that shows he shouldn't even be there. So we need for you guys to listen to us because of what just happened to him.
Well, everybody in prison, their life is in danger, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. You get stabbed 14 times. Of course, your people going to say he needs to get up out of here.
He's innocent and he shouldn't be there. So if he dies, his blood is on the hands of the people that wouldn't let him retry.
I can understand Meg's frustration, though, because as I said, I think it's strange that a court case happened, due process, all the evidence that was presented in court, weeks and weeks of testimony and evidence, all that goes out the window because the driver allegedly overheard Kelsey.
That's not a press release. That's not a PR spin. That's not a staged interview. That's pain. That's a black woman tired of begging to be believed. Megan Thee Stallion is still healing, not just from a gunshot wound, but from a cultural wound that refuses to scab over. Tory Lanez was convicted. A jury said, yes, he did it. This wasn't social media. This wasn't speculation. This was the law. The system for once backed a black woman. But in the court of public opinion, Megan's still on trial. Every time her name trends, the comments flood in. She lied. She stepped on glass. It was Kelsey. She's just doing this for attention. It doesn't matter that the medical records confirm she was shot. It doesn't matter that she bled, that she limped, that she stood in court and relived it all in front of cameras and strangers. The truth doesn't trend. So when Tory's team started appealing, started whispering new theories, the internet lit back up. And instead of rising to meet the moment with strength, Roc Nation gave us a recycled legal blurb. Megan's lawyer, Alex Sparrow, said, this is not a political matter. This is a violent assault that was resolved in court. That was it. That's all they gave us. No context, no passion, no truth-telling. They treated it like it was just business. But this isn't business. This is trauma, public trauma, repeated trauma. And that weak statement, it didn't help Megan. It made her look alone, like nobody was willing to stand with her when the trolls came back out. So she said it herself. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he shot me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that shit. She had to relive her story again for the world. Again, not because the facts changed, but because people would rather protect a rapper than protect a woman. And then just hours later, she launched a fashion line, swimsuits, crop tops, Walmart collab. The backlash was immediate. People said, wait, she was just talking about trauma, now it's bikinis. The price tags, $20 for a top, $28 for a swimsuit, sparked more outrage. Folks said it was too high for Walmart, that it felt disconnected, tone deaf. But let's be honest, Megan has every right to launch her fashion line. She has every right to smile, to sell, to create. The problem wasn't the clothing, it was the timing. Because what happens when your healing and your hustle collide? What happens when your team drops a weak statement in the morning and drops a swimsuit promo in the afternoon? It sends a message, whether you mean it or not, that your trauma is just part of your brand. And that's not fair to Megan. She's allowed to move on. But her team should have known better, should have protected her rollout, should have defended her story so she didn't have to. Instead, Instead, they left her exposed. Again, and this isn't the first time, when she first came forward in 2020, the music industry was quiet. Rappers made jokes, men mocked her, blogs spun conspiracy theories. She cried on Instagram, and people called it an act. Imagine going through all that, and your own label doesn't defend you loudly, clearly, and publicly. Let's compare. When Ariana Grande went through tragedy, her team shut down, reframed the conversation, created space for healing. When Taylor Swift was assaulted and sued her attacker, her team built a campaign around it, told her story her way. But Megan, she's still fighting, not just for herself, but for the right to be believed. In Roc Nation, they're treating it like it's another Tuesday. This isn't about fashion or Twitter or even court anymore. This is about who gets believed. This is about how we treat black women who speak up. Because Megan is far from the only one. Ask Keke Palmer, ask Serena Williams, ask any woman who dares to say, "This happened to me." They get mocked, discredited, made into memes, and when they snap, when they post in all caps like Megan did, they get called bitter, dramatic, aggressive. But Megan's not bitter. She's been quiet for too long, and now that she's speaking, people are uncomfortable. Good, maybe they should be, because this isn't just about a celebrity moment. This is about what we expect from women who survive violence. We want them to be perfect, poised, marketable, cry but not too much, be vulnerable but not messy, tell your story but don't repeat it. But Megan isn't here to make you comfortable. She's here to tell the truth. And the truth is, Tory Lanez shot her. He was convicted, and yet somehow she's the one still explaining herself. And what about Kelsey? She changed her story on the stand, refused to confirm what she previously told prosecutors, confused the case, created chaos, and now Tory's team is using her as a scapegoat. But even Tory said it wasn't her. So why are we still debating this? Because the internet doesn't care about fact. It cares about narratives, about drama, about dragging people down just high enough to click on. And Megan, she's the perfect target. She's successful, she's beautiful, she's loud, she's a woman, and she's black. That's a dangerous combination in a world that thrives on breaking women down. So no, Megan shouldn't have to relive this. No, she shouldn't need to post her medical records or text messages or trauma over and over. And no, she shouldn't have to scream into her phone just to be heard. But she does, because the world still won't listen unless she does it herself. And even then, people say, she's doing too much. But what if she's doing just enough to stay sane? What if she's screaming because silence almost killed her? What if she's posting because her team won? Megan shouldn't be leading this fight alone. Where are the rappers? Where are the women in music who said they had her back? Where are the journalists who covered the trial but forgot to follow up? Where's the industry support? Because if they can't show up for her now, in this moment, when her name is being dragged again, when her truth is being spun again, then they never really supported her to begin with. And here's the thing. You can support Megan and still think the Walmart rollout was clumsy. You can support survivors and still want better from Roc Nation. You can want justice and accountability and still want Megan to be free from the burden of constantly proving herself. This is not about being perfect. This is about being human. So to Megan, you don't owe us your you don't owe us your pain. You don't owe us another tweet, another live, another breakdown. You already gave us the truth. The courts believed you. The scars believe you. We believe you. Everything else is noise. Let them talk. Let them tweet. Let them speculate. You keep healing, keep building, keep thriving, because the people who matter, we see you. We see the strength. We see the hurt, and we're still with you.